The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining. This is Jesse Heller, Marketing Director at FAE Business Systems Group. This is our monthly Act On Marketing Automation Boot Camp, and today we're talking about aligning sales and marketing using some marketing automation tools that we're going to introduce to you today. Today I'm presenting alongside my trusty companion is Brandon Contreras, the Manager of Global Channel Development at Act On. Brandon, why don't you say hello?
Jesse, always a pleasure presenting with you, sir, and the mighty team at FAE BSG. Thanks for having me.
You got it. We're happy to have you, as always. Just quick overview so we can get to the topics at hand today. Some of you that are on the call may not know about FAE BSG, who we are, or about Act On, and some of you know exactly who we are and are using Act On or other marketing automation platforms, but I promise we'll have something for everybody today, and we'll get through the introduction housekeeping stuff as quickly as possible in under a couple minutes. We'll do our 5 ways marketing automation enables sales and marketing alignment, and then Q&A is anytime you guys want to throw out a question, throw it in the chat box about anything about what we're talking about, or even just general, best practices in aligning sales and marketing. We're here to help you. So we got a sales guy, we got a marketing guy, and we're ready to tackle this stuff. So just about FAE BSG, we're an Act On consulting partner. We're based in Los Angeles. We also specialize in sugar CRM. We're the #1 global sugar CRM channel partner in the world, and we are heavily invested in Act On. It's one of our favorite pieces of software to use. We like it so much that we jumped on board immediately with Act On. We love the team at Act On, and I personally use the marketing automation platform. I've been using it for a couple of years now. It's completely changed everything that I do in my job. We also are a big ERP shop, and we've done tons of CRM and ERP marketing automation implementation. We've built a suite. We're really known for our sugar CRM integrations. We've built a suite of product integrations for CRM from Box to Dropbox, and you can check those all out on our site. I'm sure most of you know about these integrations as well. So with that, Brandon, I think I'm going to have you give us a little bit of general insight for the people that don't know, just marketing automation, Act On, and how this kind of high level is going to help us align our sales and marketing team.
Yeah, absolutely. Pass me control. I'm going to do significantly more show and tell just from live environments out of the Act On instance and the sugar instance versus going off of slide prezo. I think more of a live show and tell very well would be beneficial this time around.
You got it.
Let's
passing it over.
Logistical purposes, you're able to see my screen and moving my mouse up and down the center, Jesse.
Yeah, looks good.
Cool. All right. So first of all, just overarching. I mean, I see smiles, smirks, and nods in the audience from some of you that know or are familiar with what marketing automation is, but there may be some of you that don't. So let's just kind of start high level first. Marketing automation is that particular tool, application, software set that, #1, brings all of your online marketing tactics into one application. You've probably, well, when you hear marketing automation, it could bring about like this, it's just kind of this turn it on and leave it on. It automates all of my marketing so I don't have to do anything at all. That's very, very far from the truth. Yes, it does automate some of those rote and mundane processes that in times past it was very difficult for us as marketeers to keep up with. That's kind of cool. But again, overarching kind of high-level overview of this, all of your online marketing tactics are now launched, managed, and tracked from one location. We are focusing on Acton. This is the home screen of Acton. Your marketing shop are given user IDs and passcodes, and this is where they are launched into. This is the home screen. Everything marketing-wise is, again, launch, manage, and track from a central location. Cool. There's your high-level overview. That's kind of that layman's definition, kind of third grade-ish style. What is marketing automation? So let's get into the reasons why you're on this call today. As promised, those particular 5 ways, these 5 particular tactics, strategies, if you will, that using marketing automation aligns sales and marketing. Just again, just by the nature of sales pros inside of CRM, marketeers inside of a marketing automation platform, what are those particular things that get those 2 shops on the same page? What are those 5 things that decimate silos that currently exist between sales and marketing? Let's explore. I'm actually going to start inside of Sugar. Obviously, this Sugar instance is synchronized with Acton. It takes us roughly 35 minutes-ish to walk you through the synchronization of the Acton platform in connecting it to your instance of Sugar. So this is the Sugar home screen. And the first tactic that we were talking about, or the first feature set of the 5, is a way for sales professionals to have an overarching, a full encompassed behavioral profile of leads, contacts, targets that they are responsible to sell to. So if Will Taylor, as just an example, is a lead of mine, right, and he happens to be CMO over here at XWire Incorporated, over here to the right, I have inside of CRM, in the lead view, this is also accessible in the contact view and the target view as well, an Acton activity history. So when we talk about that first particular feature that aligns sales and marketing, we're going to call that behavioral profiling. Now, this is extraordinarily useful for both the marketeer as well as the sales pro. Why? Well, let's take a look at why. This Acton activity history. If I'm looking at this with my sales professional lenses on, I get to see a plethora of information. Email, sent, opens, and clicks. Messages that either I or my marketing shop has sent to Will Taylor. Maybe he was part of some bulk broadcast that went out. Maybe there was 1 off, 2 off, 3 off emails that I sent him. But I get to see all of his behavior and engagement with email. Again, sent, opens, and clicks. And you see all of these are clickable, so if I wanted to venture even further to see what that specific email that we sent him was, I can click through on this. Cool. What else? What particular web pages of ours did he visit? I get to see all of his behavior and engagement with our website. And again, you see all of these are clickable. If I wanted to see this specific page that he took a look at, I could venture even further down to see that specific page. Marching even forward. Landing pages. So inside of the Acton application, the marketing department can create and deploy landing pages. Just a 1 page of information to be deployed out on social. Could be connected to your website, could be part of an email. The list goes on and on. But here are all of William Taylor's engagements with landing pages that my marketing department has out there on the World Wide Web. Document downloads. So many an organization has product specifications, maybe they're publishing ebooks, white papers, any form of document that a person can export from your site. So had William downloaded an ebook, white paper, any form of PDF from our site, we would see that behavior in this tab by way of document downloads. Goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Anytime a person downloads something from your site, that is a very high hand raise showing a higher level of engagement and behavior with our content. Forward we press. Has William interacted with any of our forms? Inside of Acton, you can create and deploy web forms. Web forms could be surveys. They could be those contact me request forms. They could be sign up to receive our newsletter. The list goes on and on as to what a form could be used for. But again, I get William Taylor specific behavior and engagement with any form that he's submitted. We're also showing views here as well. So if he happens to just merely take a look at a form of ours without submitting it, we're going to see that high hand raise as well. We're tracking the view of a form as equal as we are the submission of information on a form. Nifty. Webinar information. We have a tab here that's going to show us which particular online events or webinars that Will Taylor has registered for as well as attended. Now you see, again, in this demo environment, Will Taylor hasn't been active at all with any of our online events or webinars, but if he were to have registered or attended, registered and or attended webinars of ours, that information would show up in this particular tab. So you're already seeing, before I just finish out these tabs, you're already seeing here how a sales pro could now be on the side of the bridge of the marketeer. The marketing shop is doing everything, 2, 4, 6, 8x to yell and scream from a mountaintop to get people interested and engaged with what the organization is up to, with what particular products and services that the organization is offering. And historically, sales has had zero to no insight into any behavior and engagement of leads, contacts, targets in the universe that we have to prospect into. So you see, with marketing automation, that is no more. Sales knows exactly what marketing is up to, what particular email broadcasts go out, what particular landing pages are the most active, what particular white papers, ebooks, documents are getting the most interest and engagement, and even more specifically, which of my leads, contacts, and targets are engaging with this information. Powerful. Lastly, finally, on this behavioral profile here, what particular search terms did Will use prior to arriving on our site? This information is extraordinarily useful in so much as if Will is a lead of mine, what was he exploring, what was he investigating, what was he researching by way of search before he ended up on our site? And you see, note for file, some, if not most, of the search engines out there are blocking some of the organic search terms that are used, but there are others that do surface oftentimes. More importantly, if your organization is doing pay-per-click campaigns, those 100% of the time will show up in this Acton activity history. Any and all paid search terms will show up. So again, an overarching activity history of Will as he is a lead in my leads universe. Marching forward.
Brandon, I just want to throw in a little commentary here.
Yeah.
This was the exact reason why our company moved forward with implementing Act On was because how tight this section here, this integration is in Sugar. Essentially, I live all day long in the marketing automation platform where I'm running all of my behavioral profiling and obviously all marketing strategies. And the sales team, they're living inside of the CRM and tracking calls and making notes. And what they get with this section here is an entire, Sports Center highlight reel of all of the activities that are going on from the marketing perspective, and they can use all of this data before they make their call to check in on customers and clients. So it's just really, it really changed the game for us in bringing our two realms together in the marketing team and the sales team.
Yeah, and just piggybacking on that commentary, good stuff. You as the marketeer are living and breathing daily inside of the marketing platform. Perfect. This is where you're doing all of your yelling and screaming, putting out email campaigns, landing pages, publishing information out to social, automated workflows, lead nurturing, drip campaigns, so on and so forth, right? That's the marketeer. This is your shop. Sales pro, they're spending 7, 9, 11 hours per day inside of Sugar CRM, conducting all of their sales efforts, right? Following up, prospecting. Who do I need to call today? Following up on tasks, sending out follow-up email, sending out that follow-up proposal or quote out to somebody, right? This is where the sales pro is going to be spending the larger chunk of their time. And again, in years past, the sales pro has been completely blind to engagement, interaction of leads, contacts, targets, how they're interacting with our stuff. Are they even responding or interacting with emails? Are they on our website? And so now just with marketing automation, with Act On, now the sales pro has insight into that behavior and engagement. Let's press forward. Down here, the bottom right-hand side, this Act On marketing timeline. So this goes hand in hand with this behavioral profile in so much as William Taylor, a lead of mine. I get to see his entire pathway from the first time we came into contact with him, which was a web page visit, and we see in chronological order all the way up to the most recent engagement that we've had with him. So useful information to see kind of the twists and turns and what particular pieces of content he's been engaging with just by way of an Act On marketing timeline. Extraordinarily useful information. So not necessarily in order, that knocks out the behavioral profiling piece. While I'm here inside of Sugar, let's take a look at another particular tactic that aligns sales and marketing. One, obviously I start with this behavioral profile piece. One of my favorites is a sales pro, but there's a send email. Now, I had a conversation with Will. He's like, yes, interested. I need that particular video vignette of yours that, and also, a comparison between X and Y, and also that follow-up to the CRM integration. Perfect, outstanding. I can immediately click on send email, and this gives me, the sales pro, the ability to launch an email, to send an email to Will, using templates that have been designed by my marketing shop. This is huge. I often say this somewhat jokingly, but there is a bit of seriousness to it. This continues to foster my laziness and complacency in so much as I have the ability here to use a template that's already been created by my marketing shop, and inside, and as we use Act On to market and sell Act On, our marketing shop has loaded this template library filled with any and all responses to, send me that video follow-up, send me that comparison, particular blog post that had this particular information, whatever. Our marketing shop has already created it. What does this do? Besides, again, jokingly, fostering my complacency and laziness, marketing is now able to keep branding consistent, message consistent, look and feel of email that's going out to prospects, contacts, targets of ours, all consistent across the sales floor. Now, of course, if I wanted to customize this a little bit by putting in a, hey, great talking to you, or something else, or just by way of some level of further customization, I have the ability here to drop in a rich text block in any portion of this message. The message in and of itself created by marketing is going to have a level of personalization. Again, just by way of example, we can drop in company name, we can drop in individual first name, any and all fields from Sugar can be included in this message template, so that if I didn't need to add anything else, it would have a very high level of personalization. You know, again, look and feel that it's going directly to Will, mentioning Will's organization, mentioning Will's CRM, or any and all fields that exist inside of Sugar. And so as I send this message out to Will, again, just circling back to this behavioral profile, I'm going to know that if, when, as he interacts with it. So this email template portion, by way of send, act on email, useful, further decimating the distance that exists between sales and marketing. Just to know, by the way, this is extraordinarily granular here. I could also look at it inside of Act On should I choose. Again, this overview, this is just looking at it via Act On. Doesn't force me to leave Sugar. Sugar is resting right behind this dashlet here, but information. Continuing. We've touched on behavioral profiling. We've touched on email templates. Lead nurturing. Okay, so now we toss the ball to over to the side of the bridge of the marketing shop. Again, they have some responsibility in this decimation of that particular distance that exists between sales and marketing. So let's take a look at this particular portion. The ability for a marketing shop to create drip campaigns or lead nurturing sequences that in an automated fashion allow for instantaneous follow-up based on behavior and engagement of leads, contacts, and targets. Huge. So in its most simplest of forms, you very well are familiar with something like this. You know, we could start off with something as easy as a drip campaign, where we send an email, we wait for a period of time, we send an email, we wait, and I'm not going to continue to beat this drum because I think you all get it. You know, something very, very simple here. And all I've done is first, because I am a simpleton, I like to just create the skeleton first and then add my content immediately thereafter. So just by way of example, if I wanted to, in this particular drip campaign, send intro email 1, let's all pretend that that is intro email 1, and that step is completed, and then I customize the wait step. I could wait for as few as 10 minutes or as many weeks as I wanted to. Just by way of example, 5 days. Put a little note here to remind me that this wait step is 5 days. Submit, and on and on and on. So a very basic drip campaign. So then again, back to the behavioral profiling, as Will is interacting with information inside of this drip campaign, Sales Pro is going to see it. Okay, cool, brings those two together. Let's make this drip campaign significantly more complex by adding some level of intelligence branching or conditional intelligence by way of a branch like this. So example, as I start this program, if an individual engages with the intro email 1, again, maybe that person clicks on message, intro email 1, I want to send them down this more unique and relevant pathway based on the behavior and engagement of, again, clicking on intro email 1. Or I can follow up again with something more specific and relevant, maybe an additional wait step, and certainly a push this record back to CRM. So let me pause here and explain this. The record very well may already exist inside of the lead universe, the target universe, the contact universe, but it might not be on sales professionals' radar because maybe it's got a low behavior score. I'll talk about that in a second. Or there's been no behavior and engagement of this individual. So when I say create records inside of CRM, this is an instantaneous way for an alert inside of Sugar to be created to put this individual on the Sales Pro's radar. Example, create records inside of CRM. If it happens to be a new record and it doesn't exist, I could create it as a lead, contact, or target. That's cool. And I could also update any and all fields inside of CRM with whatever particular information that I want to add. And I could keep doing this ad nauseum. Again, cool. Cooler, bottom right-hand corner, add an entity. This allows me, the marketeer, depending on if and when a person gets to this particular point in this lead nurturing sequence, to create a task, create a call, open a meeting, open an opportunity, open a case, add a note. Huge. This has the marketeer speaking similar language as the Sales Pro, and as the Sales Pro logs into Sugar every morning, daily, not only are they going to see behavior and engagement of individuals in their leads, contacts, and targets universes, but they're also going to have calls, tasks, meetings, or any other entities that have been scheduled and or created based on an individual's behavior and engagement inside of the marketing engine. So I could say create a call here and add any and all notes that I need to. Again, this is, this is the marketeer doing this, speaking sales language, creating calls, so on and so forth for sales pros based on a particular step in an automated workflow. And then after records are created in Sugar, I could still, I got a wait step right here, maybe a additional follow-up email there, conditional branch, and then this becomes more Alice in Wonderland down the rabbit hole, right? As you see, step B5 is a conditional branch based on behavior and engagement. Here, we could continue to uptick our relevance and specificity with even more messaging and the like. Lastly, finally, maybe I create a record in CRM that's going to show up inside of Sugar the next time that person logs in. It's going to see that call, that task, that note, whatever. But what about for your field sales reps that aren't necessarily behind the desktop looking inside of Sugar all day, every day? We could send a text message alert over to Sales Pro. Again, depending on this particular condition, after the record is created, launch an alert over to Sales Pro saying, hey, you know, you got a guy that's pretty interested based on behavior and engagement with our marketing content. Huge. Again, the marketeer inside of Sugar, speaking sales language, creating those calls, tasks, opportunities, etc., based on behavior and engagement, all done in an automated fashion. Jesse, question.
Yeah, we really utilize these automated programs. We had our marketing team sat down with our sales team for a quick, we're doing a campaign. It's geographically based. The idea is we're generating leads in your region, based on 3 to 5 general qualifying statements about how people are running their business that are lending to, is this someone that's ideal for using one of our products? Once we determined what these identifying factors were for people, and we built those into a campaign, and then we said based on specific conditions and sets of behavior, our sales team would want to be notified if step A, B, and C occurred, and then a record was created in Sugar or an alert was sent to them, and because it was a geographically segmented campaign, it only would show up for specific sales reps, so they knew exactly what it was, who to call, what it was about. All the notes were there, and it all happens in a matter of minutes, which is the key. I mean, if a new lead is coming in from an outbound campaign and they're not contacted within 1 hour, they most of the time have filled out forms on all of your other competitors' sites in that same amount of time, and they're probably already on top of it. So this strategy of building these nurture campaigns completely brought our sales and marketing team together in a way that we didn't have before we tied the Active integration to our CRM instance.
Great commentary. Great commentary. Yes. So this create records in CRM, this is a real-time push. These alerts are real-time. So you can see that as your marketing shop, and we assist you with this, in creating and building out these lead nurturing sequences or these drip campaigns, these real-time alerts allow sales professionals to keep their finger on the pulse of hot prospects as they're interested, as they're engaging with your content at a heightened time of interest. Now,
also, Brandon, there was one question I don't know if you're probably just about to get into it, but there's also alerts that can be utilized just for prospects visiting specific pages on your corporate site, right? Your website.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the next portion with website visitor tracking.
Okay, great. That was just a question that came in.
Cool. So let's get over to that. Do you want to save any of these changes? No, because it's just by way of example. So the website prospector. So now I'm going to show the website prospector just by way of the marketing view here inside of Acton. Know, and it saves us a couple of minutes, know that the sales view is exactly the same. And there's huge positives, and I'm going to tell you a couple of negatives to it as well. I'm not shy about that. So here is the website prospector, right? And this is a huge tactic that, again, puts sales and marketing on the same page because both entities, both departments, have view and visibility into this stuff. All right, first, known prospects. For instance, there's our guy Will Taylor 11 minutes ago. This guy's all over our site. Awesome. So Sales Pro, marketeer can add an alert, okay, that every time this guy ends up over on your site, you have the ability to do a text message alert, do an email alert, what have you. So again, keeping sales and marketing on the same page with when somebody is on my site. So case in point, Brandon Contreras, Sales Pro, even though I'm in channel sales, I have a couple of large deals brewing with two very large organizations. I have my alerts set up right now to let me know anytime anybody from those organizations ends up on my website. I get an email alert, you get a text message alert at the same time. Again, I want to know, what does that do? Does it prompt me to immediately pick up the phone? It depends, right? On that side, if every time somebody from those organizations visited the site and Brandon is lobbing calls to them, Brandon becomes a sales pest versus a sales professional. But it just allows me, you know, kind of this breath of, you know, okay, good. I know the sales process is continuing. I know the investigation and the research is continuing based on our last conversation because people from organization A are investigating, viewing, researching, downloading, as well as people from organization B. Cool. So that can be done here. This is just the marketing side of it. The sales side of it is exactly the same.
Hey, Brandon, it's still on the automated campaign. I'm not sure if the screen is frozen or not.
Huh.
So we're still seeing the automated campaign section.
Well, there you go. Let's see what happens if I do this. I just started and stopped the screen view. Are we on website Prospector now, Jesse?
No, not yet. There we go.
All right. The imperfections of technology, the imperfections of the user. Okay, so website Prospector, as I mentioned, there's Will Taylor, and I have the ability here just to add an alert. Sales Pro view, Marketeer view, exactly the same. I could customize alerts to my heart's content. Huge, positive, good stuff. These are the known prospects. Watch this, though. So anonymous prospects, people that the Acton platform does not quote, end quote, know. Okay? Let me dive into this a little bit. There is no technology that exists to tell you, or any other marketer for that matter, specifically who a person is that is on your site viewing, downloading, accessing information without them doing a couple of things, right? So when we say anonymous, Acton doesn't know them as of yet. Acton gets to know them when they perform one of two behaviors. Either they open and click on an email that you sent them, that's pretty straightforward, or they identify themselves by submitting a form. Up until them doing one of those behaviors, all current technology can do is tell us IP address of particular browser, etc. That's it. We can show you their on-ramp to the World Wide Web, like this individual is using AT&T Internet Services. That kind of narrows it down, being ridiculously facetious there. But further, the importance of this anonymous prospects portion. If there are organizations in territories that I cover as a sales professional, let's just say, just by way of example, DigitalOcean Incorporated is in my territory inside of San Jose. I could do a quick search inside of LinkedIn. We've got this connected to Zoom Info, where I could say, all right, what are the names, what contacts are on file inside of Zoom Info that exist under the DigitalOcean Incorporated umbrella. If I sell widgets, again, just throwing this out there, I'm going to call on the guy or gal that's in charge of writing the check for the next dozen widgets. So I can do some exploration here as a sales professional. The marketeer can do the same as well, searching for particular contacts inside of organizations maybe that aren't in our database as of yet, or the organization is in our database, but we just don't have particular names of contacts. We can research contacts using ZoomInfo, just a little data integration there. Very similar to a Dun & Bradstreet, very similar to data.com, those kind of, again, data providers. Or I can compare and contrast my connections on LinkedIn to maybe somebody that I'm connected to that's connected to somebody inside of DigitalOcean. I mean, they're on my site. They're exploring something. They're not here for headline news or sports scores. There's some level of interest that brings them to the Act-On website. So useful here, again, putting sales and marketing on the same page. They get the exact same view inside of the website Prospector. They have a common foundation. Last of our 5, revenue impact reports. Bringing it all together. So now, this requires both sales and marketing. I mean, the 4 that we've talked about previous are, yeah, okay, marketing's definitely going to use this. Sales is certainly going to use this, and on and on. This requires sales and marketing to participate actively inside of CRM, and obviously the marketer participating actively inside of Act-On. So now, what are we seeing here? Revenue impact reports. The beneficiary of this information becomes the marketing department, and the marketing department has a very quick way to roll up justification for marketing efforts to the C-suite. So what are we seeing here? New leads that have been generated based on particular lead sources. Just by way of example, we generated in Q3 so far 2,021 leads by way of a white paper source. This could be a variety of different white papers just under the white paper category. Webinars are generating 5,000 leads. Our surveys are generating 6,300, and the list goes on. Okay, that's cool. Marketing can roll this up to the C-suite and say, hey, look at the amount of leads we're generating based on these particular lead sources. And of course, these lead sources are customizable based on your organization. Now, based on those number of leads we've generated, here's where sales has input based on the conversions they're doing inside of Sugar, converting a lead to a contact, opening up an opportunity, and creating an account. How many opportunities have been created based on those lead sources? We've got 580 opportunities that were created whose lead source was survey. We go down here to that white paper, the white paper download, 268 opportunities were created with the lead source denoted as white paper download. Good information. As sales is converting leads, and again, opening accounts, creating opportunities, this information syncs with Act-On in real time. Good stuff. Let's press even more forward. How many opportunities have we won based on lead sources? And with even more specificity, all the way down to the specific campaign. So if we have survey listed as a lead source, that overarching umbrella of survey, and we've launched a number of surveys over the months, I could just pop open this first one and say, okay, surveys, 1,344 opportunities, 44 of them have been won, pipeline contribution of 11 million, revenue 412,000. I still have 114 open, 42 closed lost, 11 closed won. Total revenue won 75K, average deal size 6,900 bucks. This becomes the very common foundation from both sales and marketing to operate off of. sales managers can see this. Obviously, the marketing shop, directors of marketing, CMOs are going to use this. CMOs are going to roll this up to, it's part of their quarterly business reviews, monthly business reviews. Great information for finance, further justification for marketing. Again, that list can go on. So this revenue impact report shows the diamond result of all of this information, and certainly the diamond result of all of the efforts. Jesse, question.
Where do the financials come from? Where is this data coming from?
So this data is coming from the opportunity element inside of Sugar. So as the sales pro is inside of Sugar and is opening up an opportunity, after having, 1-2 phone calls, 1-2 meetings, whatever, they realize, hey, you know what, we look like we're on track to sell Acme Incorporated a dozen widgets for X dollars. X dollars ends up in that deal value slot inside of the opportunity element inside of Sugar. Acton is seeing that information, adding it all up, seeing the total number of ops, and producing this information. Make sense?
Great, thank you.
So again, our effort today was to talk about 5, there's more than 5, but we touched on 5 specific ways that you can use marketing automation to align sales and marketing. I'm confident these are, if not top of the list, very near to it. In the time that we have left, questions that I can answer, questions that Jesse can answer.
Brandon.
Yes.
Are you seeing my screen?
I am seeing your screen. You're on 5 ways to align sales and marketing.
Perfect. I wanted to have this up as you were going through the final review, just so everyone could see this. We did have some questions come in throughout, but I kind of scattered them in through our commentary and discussed some of the ways in which we are using these tools to align our sales and marketing team.
Awesome.
Post-webinar, I'll be sure to send out this deck to everybody, but just so you are aware, we've got a free trial offer going for the webinar attendees to give Acton a shot. If you're interested in taking advantage of that, absolutely, please contact me. And also you can contact me just to discuss anything that you heard here today and learn about some of the ways we use Acton and in conjunction with Sugar CRM and independently. And Brandon's contact information is here as well if you have a specific technical question for him, maybe regarding pricing or integrations that Acton natively integrates with to some of the other software that you guys are probably already using. Brandon, other than that, I think we've gone through everything we wanted to get through. Did you have any other final comments or anything you wanted to share with us?
Just a final statement. We are not shy about opening up a free trial instance for you. That free trial account inevitably becomes your account when you decide to onboard with Acton. And we offer full boat. I mean, we'll take that trial account, we'll connect it with your instance of CRM, we'll connect it with your instance of Sugar. We'll assist in building drip campaigns, lead nurturing sequences. We'll talk about these particular 5 ways. I mean, during this trial experience, we do not just simply turn this thing on and lob it over to you and say, hey, good luck, have fun, let us know when you like it. I mean, we become your cruise director through this, guide you through this free trial, your specific proof of concept, teaching you, training you all the way through this. We use this free trial, obviously, to prove out that particular concept that you're interested in solving for your organization. And obviously, it's a huge selling point for us because not all marketing automation platforms are quick to open a free trial and guide you through this. So differentiator?
It's great. Yeah, it's great. We did it when we first started. We uploaded a list of basically our employees internally, and our marketing team tried it out for a little bit, sent out emails, and then got to see which people clicked what, who's actually helping us, and reading the emails and clicking on links and where they're visiting on our site, and entering them into the campaigns and testing out the alerts and seeing how it all marries with our instance of sugar. And if you're not using sugar, obviously Axon does integrate with other CRMs as well. So it's cool. It was a great little feature, and we were really happy how involved Axon was with us in setting up the trial and helping us through it. So Brandon, thanks so much for joining us, and everyone, thank you for joining us as well. I hope you took away a few nuggets of information. It's usually how it works when you've got Brandon on the line. So Brandon, thank you so much.
You're welcome so much.
Everybody, thanks again for joining, and take care, and stay tuned for our invite for our next marketing automation series, which will be coming up in August.